What's up, y'all? I'm your host, Eric, and today we are going to talk about the IBEW 46 limited energy strike. We have an update in an article that was posted in Labor Notes. And so we want to thank Labor Notes. Labor Notes, for those of you who don't know, is one of the premier organizations that really are keen to educating organizers and leading the labor movement. So very good organization. Y'all should check them out if you don't know about them, and donate to their cause. They fight for you guys, working folks. And so we're going to dive into this article. Low voltage electrician strike for first parentheses and last time in unit's history. This was from June 4th. This was yesterday from Jorge Torres. And so here we go. Members of the Limited Energy Construction Unit of Electrical Workers, IBEW Local 46 in Seattle, will be voting June 6th, that's tomorrow, on the latest offer from the Contractors Association after nearly 8 weeks on an unprecedented strike. The current offer includes wages far below the union's original demand, nothing on paid holidays except the exploratory committee that might not meet until September, and giving up the right to go on strike ever again. Giving up the right to go on strike ever again. The 1,023 members of the Limited Energy Unit, mostly specialty electricians and a few installers, have been on strike since April 11th in an unprecedented shakeup of standard practice contract negotiations. Over the course of 10 bargaining sessions between January and April, and throughout the strike, the Puget Sound chapter of the National Electrical Contractors Association has dug in its heels on nearly every issue. We only got 5 answers from NECA in negotiations, says Limited Energy Business Representative Megan Kirby. No, I don't think so. That's going to be a heavy lift. We can't get there. How's that going to make us money? NECA told us face to face, any warm body off the street can do your job, said Picket Captain General Chelsea Smith. The union's sticking points have been its demands for wage increases, paid holidays, and walkie-talkies known as radios in trade shorthand, and seen as an essential safety issue. I've been trapped behind doors in basements of job sites without cell service, said Picket Captain Alex Huffstetler. Limited energy specialty electricians, known in other local unions as sound and comm or teledata technicians or low voltage, are state certified to install and maintain a variety of electrical systems, including data security, access control, digital antenna systems, fire alarm and general life safety, and building automation control systems. This work can range from the physically demanding to the highly technical. Limited energy electricians, like all state certified electricians, are required to complete continuing education courses every 3 years. Yet these workers are well behind most others in the building trades in terms of wages and benefits, and nearly $25 an hour behind their closest counterparts, the inside wire commercial electricians. For its entire history, Local 46's Limited Energy Unit has dealt with worse pay, benefits, conditions, and treatment than the much larger inside wire unit. This chord was struck by Local 46 business manager Sean Bagsby during the union's first scheduled all-day picket training, which started on the morning of the first day of the strike. The disrespect is disgusting, Bagsby told a packed auditorium. No more second-class citizens. No more big unit here, little unit there. Pickets went up on the second day of the limited energy strike at 5 sites and 2 contractor offices, a targeted picketing strategy that has remained fairly consistent throughout the strike. This means they are picketing only a fraction of the struck job sites. Picketers had been instructed by the union's legal counsel to picket trainer David Hanna to stay 50 feet away from all entrances and exits and to not engage other trades on the picket line. We are not asking others to honor our strike or walk off the job, Hanna emphasized during the training. Instead, the primary targets of the union's message were identified as the electrical contractor, the public, and the unionized workforce and labor community at large. We're trying to also educate politicians, Hanna said. They can either help or hurt us to reach a settlement. The union's abundance of caution comes in part from the significant legal limitations imposed on construction unions during strikes, including which gates can be picketed. Employers commonly set up a dual gate system during a strike, so workers in other trades can enter the construction site without technically crossing the picket line. All these legal measures are designed to make construction strikes ineffective and allow for minimal disruption of projects. This is the first time this unit has ever struck, and the first strike since the World War II era for any unit in Local 46. In previous years, Local 46 and NECA had gotten as far as imminent strike threats, but each time, at the last minute, NECA would offer a bit more, which the union could bring to the members as the best deal we've ever received, and narrowly avert a strike. As the limited energy contract neared its March 31st expiration, members voted to authorize a strike. The union issued its contractually obligatory 10-day notice to terminate the terms of the contract, which extended the contract expiration to April 10th. Members rejected another NECA offer on April 8th with an unprecedented 75% turnout and 90% approval to strike. This time, NECA didn't blink or make a deal. The long-standing IBEW NECA partnership had been unceremoniously broken. Local 46 has meanwhile also been in bargaining with NECA for its 4 other construction units, including the big ones, the inside wire. Contracts for 2 of these units, covering many of the same employers and around 4,000 more electricians, expired May 31st. The other 2 expire June 30th. IBEW and NECA have agreed to extend the expired residential electrician unit contract through June 28th. The inside wire unit presented its 10-day notice, and there are 3 more scheduled negotiating sessions before contract termination. A vote for strike authorization could take place as early as the end of this week if a satisfactory offer isn't presented to the membership. That's an important note, and I'm going to pause for a second. The inside wire unit presented its 10-day notice. That means that IBEW 46 does not have a CIR agreement in their contract for any of their units, and so that's a 10-day notice of a termination of a contract to then authorize a strike if a satisfactory deal does not get put in place. So remember, we do have IBEW locals out there that still have their teeth and still are able to withhold their labor. Remember what I told y'all. Only power we have is our labor. We turn wrenches, they make money. We don't turn wrenches, they don't make money. So if we withhold our labor, we're able to extract a fairer slice of that pie that we're the ones that create. Let's continue. Despite the imposed limitations, many strikers were in high spirits from the start. Picketers at Evergreen Electric offices chanted, "Come clean, Evergreen, you know what a contract means." 3 weeks into the strike, County Executive Dow Constantine wrote a letter to NECA urging the association to re-engage in meaningful negotiations with IBEW 46. But the county executive's letter has not moved NECA. Its offer on May 21st was for an $11.50 raise over 3 years with no paid holidays. The union lowered its proposal to $16 over 3 years, then offered to meet NECA in the middle by floating an offer to drop down to $13.50. NECA rejected the offer, and the union told the membership we revert back to 16 from the union. While these numbers may sound like a lot, building trade unions take that total economic package and then vote as a membership on how to disperse the lump sum across wages, healthcare, retirement, and other expenses at regular intervals through the life of the contract. So what may average out as a $5 an hour increase per year doesn't end up entirely on the check. After all, is divided up, and only a fraction of that amount actually increases the take-home pay in a region that has the 9th highest cost of living in the country. NECA's current offer is $12.75 with no defined paid holidays, no contractor-provided radios, and language which would foreclose the unit's ability to strike. This strike has been a lightning bolt illuminating the landscape for electricians across the country. Strikes in the IBEW construction units are vanishingly rare. Electricians are getting updates about the strike from the Local 46 website and more informal networks like the union-minded YouTube channel. Whoa! Yo! We made labor notes, son! Yo! We made labor notes! There's a link in everything. This thing says the union-minded YouTube channel. Yo, shout out to Labor Notes. Thank you for shouting us out. Wow. That's so dope. My bad. That's cool. Despite the limited official publicity for the strike fund and limited options for how to donate, you can mail a check or call the dues department phone number. Members around the country have contributed individually and gotten their locals to contribute. Many donations have come from Southern locals. Local 666 in Richmond, Virginia contributed $4,999. As a local that only recently won paid holidays in our own contract, it's important that we show solidarity with anyone trying to include them in their contracts, said apprentice Philip Petro. Local 666 was the first IBEW local in the South to win on this issue. Dave Pinkham of Local 520 in Austin, Texas, called the union's dues office to contribute individually. I donated $25, which is 1 hour of my wage, he said. If they lose the strike and end up with a concessionary contract, that affects IBEW members everywhere. If they're willing to stand up for themselves, how can I not help in any way I can, however small it might be? Pinkham's local is one of the many IBEW construction locals where a strike is nearly impossible because they have mandatory language imposed by the International Union to include an IBEW NICA arbitration entity called the Council on Industrial Relations. The CIR was established in 1920 as a partnership between the IBEW and NICA's earlier iteration to put a stop to strikes in the industry. After World War II, IBEW NICA campaigned hard for construction locals to adopt CIR. We have been known for being the strikeless construction industry, one top IBEW official and former CIR director boasts in an article on the union's website. If it weren't for the CIR, there'd be a lot more strikes. Most IBEW locals have standard CIR language that can allow either the union or NICA chapter to unilaterally bring disputes to CIR arbitration, preventing any dispute from reaching strike level. But Local 46 and a handful of other locals have modified CIR, where CIR arbitration only happens if both parties agree to it. It's this very language that NICA is now aiming to alter with its current proposal to institute standard CIR and prevent limited energy electricians from ever going on strike again. The strike is receiving strong support at home too. A support rally in April drew 150 people, including limited energy members, their Inside Wire siblings, members of SEIU, and other building trade workers, including carpenters, cement masons, iron workers, plumbers, and sheet metal workers. From the front, the Seattle Building Trades Council and the Washington State Building and Construction Trades Council affirmed their support. You're not in this fight alone. Washington State Labor Council President April Sims told the crowd the more than 600 unions representing over 600,000 members have your back. WSLC has put those words into action, creating a petition for supporters to sign and encouraging everyone to call NICA Chapter Executive Director Jameson Schwetz 206-284-2150 and leave a message urging a fair settlement. The limited energy strike and Local 46 contract season have personal importance for me as an 8-year member of this local who started in the limited energy unit myself. In 2017, rank and filers organized a Vote No campaign and informational picket of NICA's local headquarters, the first of its kind in living memory. Many of the current strike leaders were active and leading participants in this previous fight. We voted down 3 contract offers in a row, each time with the business manager and negotiating committee insisting this was the best offer NICA's ever given. The business manager at the time signed NICA's 3rd contract offer over our heads, but not before our member-driven campaign pushed past the union to force NICA to raise its proposal by nearly $2, more movement than had been made by NICA in the first 6 weeks of this strike. This fight has been a long and difficult one for my former unit. NICA has pressed on every strategic opening it could find. Members may even begin to feel like the ability to strike in 3 or more years is the least of their concerns. But the ability to withhold our labor and stop production is the most powerful weapon we have as workers. No dollar amount can be placed on it. At NICA's $12.75 economic offer over 3 years, amounting to a little over 1 cent raise per day, it's a bargain basement sale. Jorge Torres is a labor climate organizer and a member of IBEW Local 46. Jorge, thank you for the shout out. Yo, that's crazy. I opened this article to read it and had no idea that that was going to be in there. That's freaking awesome. Whew, there's your update. And, if you can donate. Go to their website. There's information on the website on how you can donate if you can. Let's support these striking workers. They're on the front line for all of us. If you're in the IBEW, they're fighting for you. They're fighting for me. And modified CIR is the way to go, because that's the only way you have your teeth. So that when you tell Nika, hey, we deserve a fair share, they actually understand that there's weight behind those words. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. Anyway, my name's Eric. You're watching Union Minded. Remember, the fight is not left and right. It's up and down. It's going to take solidarity to win always. Each one, teach one. Get out there and reach one. And remember, there can be no union without you and I, front and center. Let's get it.